afternoon, viewers. I'm your regular anchor, Covenant Paul. As you may know, last time we talked about why most marriages fail on the mandate. I shall be back in a jiffy. Welcome once again to the mandate. Today, we are not going to be dwelling much on our previous topic, why most marriages fail, but I'm going to throw very little light on that to get us refreshed of our minds on why most marriages fail, being the topic we talked about the last time. We saw a young man who killed his wife out of anger because of impatience, not getting to know to the bottom of the matter, to know what actually transpired between the man that called him and the reason for the phone call or the text message that was sent to his phone. And then he misunderstood the text message, and that before the wife could explain herself, he had beaten her to death. So today we shall be talking on a different topic altogether, a topic that so many people have fallen victim of the circumstance in life. And then this topic is soul tie. Good. You're welcome to this interesting topic today, soul tie. What is soul tie? What do you mean when you hear the word soul tie? What comes to your mind? What is soul? As you may know, every human being is made up of three different parts, spiritually speaking. And then one of the parts is soul, the soul. You know, the man is made of the body, the spirit, and the soul. The spirit, the body, and the soul. And then you realize that so many people in time past and even to this present time that are suffering from this topic we're going to talk about, soul tie. Soul tie simply means when the soul of a man is tied to the soul of another woman as a result of relationship that never worked out. What are we talking about? You realize that there are people that actually got into relationship, and at the end of it all, they couldn't make their desire come to fulfillment. The same man who is in love with a young girl, and the young guy is in love with a young lady, and then the lady is deeply in love with the young guy, and they promised each other to get married, but due to some factor that affects life, especially in this part of the world, like the Western world, and then at the end of the day, maybe the parents comes up with one excuse or another, and then they made themselves not to get married, but there was a very strong bond. The bond there is called soul tie. You understand? Soul tie. That a relationship that are so glued, relationship that is so glued to each other, and they actually had in mind we're going to set at the end of the day they had everything in common, everything they ever did, everything was in common, and at the end of it all, you realize that factors affecting relationships, maybe foundational factors, parental factors, financial factors. Maybe the guy is not having the money to settle down at the time he wanted to settle down, but that's something could happen. There's some other man coming into the life of the lady to ask for him in the marriage, and then asking for him in the marriage, and the parents compelling her to marry the guy because he has the money. And then at the end of the day, she settles down with the other guy that has the money, and then after settling down with him, and then in the midst of her marriage, she keeps thinking of the other guy who hadn't money to pay her dowry, who hadn't money to carry the marriage ceremony, and the rest things like there. And then something comes up, and then each time she's being provoked or she's being burdened in their marriage, she keeps thinking about the other guy. The soul of this young lady is tied to the first guy whom she was actually in love with. Now, you realize something there. There is someone that is in a marriage already because you had a good time with another guy that you really deeply in love everything, and then you ended up not marrying the person of your choice. You will keep having the memory of past. You will keep having the memory of the other girl you actually wanted to marry because of the love and the bond that is attached to it. So what happens in the process? You keep pondering over the past good times you have ever had with the other girl that you expected to marry, but you couldn't end up marrying him. That is called soul tie. And I tell you, a lot of people are suffering from this menace. A lot of people are passing through this problem in marriage. They are in their husband's house, but they're busy thinking of their ex-boyfriend. They are in their husband's house. They are busy thinking of the man they were truly in love with, but they couldn't end up marrying such a man. And then, in the process, they are having what is called spiritual adultery. Spiritual adultery. That is called soul tie. There is nothing they do, all their thinking, all their reasoning, everything about them, every of the actions is pointing towards the other guy they were supposed to marry, but they couldn't marry him as a result of some factors that led to the breakage of the relationship. You know that? Soul tie. This is a very terrible thing that has really eaten up so many marriages. Soul tie is a very horrible experience because you're never going to be happy in their marriage. You're not going to be very reason straight in the marriage. Why? Because you don't reason the way the man you married to reasons, or your reason is in line with the guy out there. Do there something? I don't know to bring another activity to tell something. Do we have solution to this menace? Do we have solution to this problem? Hold on. There is no way out except you run to Jesus Christ for your freedom. Because you're not going to be happy. And then it calls for parents being very careful, not denying their children access to marrying the person they love, truly love to marry. When you've been denied of marrying the true love of your life, and you're getting into a marriage as a result of money, as a result of fame, as a result of my personality, something like that, I tell you the truth. The true love of your life, you will keep thinking about him. You will keep thinking about her because your heart is tied to him. So when your heart is tied to the person that you love, and you don't end up marrying the person that you love, the person that you love that is married to another person and you don't have access to the person, you will keep pondering, you will keep thinking, you will keep reasoning everything about you. Even the worst of all is you keep thinking about the person. Some people, even while in bed with their husband and their partner that they are married to, and then while making love in the bed, you realize that in a business, some make the mistake of even calling the name of their ex-boyfriend because their soul is tied to him. And then you see some men in the course of making love, and then their brain skips off, and then instead of calling the name of the wife that is in bed with them at that moment, they are calling the name of the ex-girlfriend. You can realize with me that something is wrong somewhere. And this has really eaten up a lot of marriages. Why most marriages fail? Soul tie. Last time we talked about anger. This time around, we're talking about soul tie. People should be allowed to marry who they love. People should be allowed to marry who their heart goes for, yearns for. People should be allowed to go along with their heart and not what your father wants, what your mother wants, what the cousin or whatever friend wants for you. Marriage has to do with, I love you, you love me, and we get on together according to our plans and thoughts and papers for lives. Soul tie is a very terrible factor that affects marriage adversely. Do you understand, viewers? Do you understand, fans out there? soul tie. You realize there are so many people that are present in marriage. They send money to their boyfriends. They still go to hotel. Yet in marriage, they still go to hotel to sleep with their ex because their hearts are tied to them. They don't have the joy of sex in marriage because their heart is not with their husband. Their heart is not with their wife. So tied, a young man that comes to secondary school and is doing nothing, and then maybe mistakenly, or say, let's give an example, a very typical example of people that are into youth service, and then in the course of that, a lot of young girls want to make a friendship with the youth service and the corporate, and then they go in a relationship with these people, and because of the youth service, they get these students in secondary school pregnant, and then the parents now threaten them, if you don't marry my daughter, I'm going to report you to the government, and then something like that, the certificate is going to be seized from them, and then they have no choice because they wouldn't want their career to be thwarted along the way. They force themselves into marrying that girl and pregnant as a result of carelessness. I'm going to tell you something. After that marriage, remember, this guy has got someone in mind that he actually wanted to marry, and then something happened, and then after the marriage, he just impregnated the girl as a corporate, and then got her impregnated, and then the parents threatened him and they got them wedded just like that because she's a daughter of a rich man, and then after getting them wedded, the guy kept thinking about the original girl he intended to get him married to. He kept thinking about her. He couldn't cope. And then the girl kept suffering under his roof. And he didn't have time for them. He was still going out there. So tied can lead to adultery, physical adultery, both sides, by the woman and by the man. And then he kept going out there to meet with the other girl. And there's another young man that just went to the village on a visit. And then just passing the time, I was thinking I was going to spend like just a week or so, but he ended up spending a month, and in the process, he fell into the arms of a young girl in the village, a village girl in the village, and then when he got there, he made love to her, got her pregnant, and then he was forced to marry her. Returning to the city, the other girl he intended marrying said, no, the relationship continues. You took my man from me, and I'm not going to give it up for you. And this girl in the city, when I married, kept visiting him in the office. They kept having an affair, and then when he gets home, he always complained of being fagged out. And then he couldn't give attention to the wife at home. Cars he sat has been tied long ago to the girl in the city. And then they kept having a secret affair until the wife in the house got to know that the husband is having a secret affair. And then she confronted the husband. The husband made it know. They looked for a very long time of a relationship before coming to the village to meet you. And then I was forced to marry you. But the fact remains, my heart is somewhere. And this young girl, looking, considering the fact that there is still age on her side, she didn't pack up her things, leaving the baby behind, got out there to get married to another person who loves her. You see what soul tie can cause? A lot of people get into soul tie through blood covenant. A young boy and a young girl, the first die in love, and the next thing is they got a sharp object caught by this one sucks from the blood of this one, the other guy sucks from the blood of the girl, and then they make their vow to themselves that nothing can seem between us. But as somewhere along the line, this one ends up marrying the other person, the other one ends up marrying the other person. Because of the power of the blood, you get together and keep thinking about the person that you got the blood covenant with. Instead of thinking about your present husband, you keep thinking about the girl outside, the girl that is in the house that is married to another man. Keep thinking about the guy that he has changed blood covenant with. And then as a result of that, their souls are tied together, and it's really affecting marriages. Are you out there listening to this talk show? We're not making fun of it. We're not trying to tell you there are factors that affect in marriage. And then this factor that affects in marriage has really ruined a lot of homes, has really brought confusion in the fighting in the house, insincerity financially in the home, problems here and there in the home. Some even end up exchanging some boxes. Every day, punch on your partner because there is no love. The soul is tied to one another. So I'm advising you, if you have the opportunity to listen to this message, you can run to Jesus Christ to deliver you. You can run to Jesus Christ. And then another physical way of solving the problem of soul tie is you begin to build the love. You can build up love. You can just begin to show your wife excess love. Force yourself. Force it on yourself. We know that love affair is something of the heart. But you can just begin to force yourself and tell yourself, I can make it again. You can make it up because adultery is going to take you to hell free. And then everybody want to go to hell. Everybody want to go to heaven. But nobody want to die. But if you want to die, you get ready to go to hell free if you want to keep on living in adultery. Because it is really a lot of homes. And then when you're thinking about someone outside to have a sexual intercourse with him, automatically you've already committed adultery, says Jesus. So you can build up this relationship. You can just tell God, help me to love this, my wife. You can tell Jesus, help me love my husband. You can just begin to show love where you don't know really how to get about it. Begin to pray and say, God, teach me to show love. Teach me to show my partner love and leave the one that is out there for someone that is already entangled in him or her. I remain your regular uncle, Covenant Paul. See you some other time. And goodbye. Bye-bye.